Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So I was asked the question, can a sexless relationship survive? And I'm assuming that this person who's asking is asking whether, because a part of the brain is checked out, you're already thinking of an exit strategy. So you're thinking, as a last-ditch effort, is it possible to survive? Is it possible to turn back a sexless relationship? I'm sorry to say that if you are doing most of the mainstream advice, usually, what they say, more date nights, do more around the house, spend more time together. All these are the things that they say, which is supposed to be somehow change a sexless relationship. In fact, I'll go further as in they'll say, go to the gym, get better looking, make more money. All these things are all bad advice in order to change a sexless relationship. If you follow that advice, there is no chance of actually surviving. In fact, there's more chance that you're going to end up in divorce, because a lot of the things are all centered around being transactional, and we call this outcome dependency. So you do some stuff with this sort of end goal in mind, and what that does, it just makes the whole thing transactional, and it removes any passion that could have come from the interactions. So it's very important to understand this, because like from reignite, and the way I approach this, we actually follow a process when it comes to changing a sexless relationship. We know that's the first thing that we need to build is sexual comfort, because whenever you bring any interaction that is of a sexual nature, there is an increase of discomfort on your partner. So therefore, they're not willing to talk about it, do it, or go into any seduction whatsoever. And if they do, they feel pressured because they now feel obligated to do it. So again, it becomes a very interesting situation, because a lot of you guys, when I meet you guys, you've already tried so many things, and all those things have compounded the fact that you're in a sexless relationship. So if you didn't do some of the stuff that you've done already, you would have been in a better place than where you are now, because everything that you're doing was increasing the discomfort that she's feeling within that sexless relationship. So again, there's a process to do it. Like we've got a process. The process is sexual comfort that we build first, and then we build on that. From the comfort that you get, then you build on to sexual communication. So what that means is that now, how do you communicate sexually? What are the new rules of engagement when it comes to your relationship? And then we go sexual qualification. So how much of the investment is she putting in the relationship? These are the setting the standards of how much she needs to input in order for you guys to have a fulfilling relationship. And then we've got the last one, which is seduction. So now you can see that there's so much more difference when it comes to surviving a sexless relationship when you have that kind of strategy where it is collaborative, where it's you doing stuff that is going to get both of you on the same page, pulling the same direction, and therefore being able to increase sexual activity within your relationship. And I think a lot of guys, when it comes to being in a sexless relationship, we always try certain things. So I know some of you guys have gone to Reddit and you've had all this information, and some of the information is relatively good in terms of really having self-awareness. There's a lot of people that are very good at teaching the self-awareness part, where you understand the value which you bring into the relationship. Because as you get rejected over and over, you sort of lose your place where you are within the relationship. You might think that your value is lower because you're the one that's sort of waiting for sexual access, or at least you're asking for sexual access. Whereas because she controls the sexual access, sometimes we relinquish our power, and therefore we think that we're not worth anything, and therefore she finds you attractive because you think you're not worth anything. But the flip side of it is that when you start thinking that you're something, she finds that attractive, because then it increases the value of what you bring. And I know I'm going through this pretty quickly, but just wanted to make this podcast episode so that you can actually understand that there is an actual process of changing a sexless relationship. And I know there's a few people that I've spoken to recently where they're trying to change a sexless relationship, but their partners have sort of checked out. So they've decided that they are not prepared to grow, and this is a different conversation that we'll be having, and it's a completely different strategy that we'll be taking with that. But overall, I think at least 90% of you guys, your partners don't want to be divorced. They don't want to be single. They want the relationship to work. Contrary to how she behaves, she actually wants to work. She actually wants to have more sex, but she just doesn't know how to get to that place. And it's just you having that idea of really actually doing things a little bit different in terms of building sexual comfort in order for you guys to get to the next place in terms of getting your relationship sorted. So hopefully that's something that you needed to hear, something that you if you've got any questions regarding this process, the Reignited Men process, go to Thriving_Tribesmen, and when you see just ask any questions that you got regarding your relationship. I can walk you through the strategy through the lens of your relationship and give you a blueprint, a seduction blueprint. So it's a blueprint where I listen to what you do, what's going on in your relationship. We walk through a few bits that you need to do, or at least what you've been doing, and then we lay out a strategy for what you need to be doing in a relationship. And all of it is free. So it's all free. You go and you implement it. And once you implement it and you see it's working, then you can come back to us and we can talk to you about joining Reignited Men. And again, there's no pressure to rejoin Reignited Men. So you just have that opportunity to do so. If you choose to do it, yes, that's okay. If you don't choose to go ahead, that's okay as well. So thank you very much. See you guys soon. Take care.